Yeah, let me medicate. I need something to get me in the right place of mind. No snakes hanging around any place of mine. I'm trying to build an empire, we in two different states of mind. I'm trying to escape the confines of my city limits, but shit get risky as making one of these shorties and misses. Gotta keep a low profile nowadays, I'm staying out the way, you single niggas wildin' with these low rates of retention, jumping at the first chance you get cause she showed you some attention. I love this life out the spotlight, I love staying.
So today we got a real special guest. Known this dude for about 4 or 5 years now. We go back to my first year when I was working in the league, Delaware Bluecoats. And yeah, came across somebody like definitely was, me and him were probably the closest in age on the staff. Definitely got to relate to him a lot and learn a lot from him. Right now he's working for the Boston Celtics as a player development coach. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Sham. What you got?
Very thankful for the opportunity to talk to somebody like Sham, Sham Jr. Let me say, we're all juniors here today, just so everybody knows.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
To be able to listen to what he has to say, give some people who viewing tutelage today, if you want to be a basketball player, this is the way to go. Hope you pay attention and listen to this one today.
We've been asking this question with us at Summer League and us around hoops. Who got you introduced to the game? Who are some players that, inspire you to play? And then I definitely want you to touch on your lineage because you got a real historic lineage. If you follow hoops, if you
Definitely.
follow hoop culture, you grew up in the era of hoops. So,
I mean, first, I want to thank y'all for having me here and allowing me to speak to y'all and just try to give games to people who may want to get in the space, to people who fans of the space, anything like that. I think that what y'all doing is tremendous. You know what I mean? I think that y'all giving people just great knowledge, great content. You know what I mean? Shit like that. So I appreciate y'all. But for me, one is easy. Like my pops, he was always walking around New York with him. He was always seen as somebody who made it, somebody who was dedicated to what he wanted to do and to how much he put into it. That's the biggest thing I heard from people was about his dedication and about the way that he just worked at what he did. And I think that meant a lot to me growing up to be able to see him get that type of love. And then the basketball players that I kind of looked up to was like Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson was big when I was growing up. My mom used to look at the cover of the magazines and braid my hair like AI. You know what I mean? And so Allen Iverson, I always was a fan of Carmelo Anthony. Like that was like my favorite player growing up. Now I would say like Kyrie Irving. I just try to relate to people who come from where I come from. That kind of talk the way I talk, go through it the way that I would go through it, and the stand-up people that I would hope that other people see me as. So those are like the main people. And then when you talk about like the lineage of it, growing up with my name, you kind of can't run from it. You know what I mean? Like you tell people your name and they automatically go into how great your dad was as a player, how he was as a person, all that kind of stuff. So I'm just super appreciative that I get to carry around that name and, kind of leave my own legacy with it and doing what I'm doing and trying to be the best that I could be. So that's like the biggest thing. I tell my little brothers all the time that because you have the name don't mean that you just automatically get a pass. That just means that you have to work harder for people to believe that you're here because of your work and not because of just who your father is. You know what I mean? So those are like the biggest things for me.
and I definitely want you to touch on, like, we hear the accent. Definitely want you to touch on like the culture of basketball in New York because it's definitely one of the cities where a lot of hoopers and came from there, especially when we talk about playing outside, street ball,
It's the Mecca, bro.
Mecca of basketball, like Madison Square Garden. Everybody talk about wanting to play there just to play at Madison Square Garden. So definitely touch on like growing up playing basketball in New York and just the culture and how much impact it had on the city playing basketball.
No, I mean New York is like a one of a kind place. You know what I mean? Like it's a jungle. through and through. You know what I mean? And I think that like even when I'm in the space that I'm in now, I see certain players that are in the NBA, and I tell the players on my team all the time, like, all right, I will be able to bring you to New York, and you'll be able to play in the people that
I've definitely heard you say that before.
Yeah.
and there's certain people that can't do that, and there's certain people that's good. They're really good basketball players, but just in that type of environment, in that type of just the crowd is on the court.
Different. It can really expose
Certain
who
players.
you are if you don't have that self-confidence in yourself.
Right. Yeah.
And like I said, growing up who I was, a lot of people used to look at me like, "Oh, we playing against Sham today? I bet I'm gonna kill him." And I used to always try to walk around like, I don't want nobody going around saying that, "Oh, they killed Shammgod," because my name is my name. Right. And if somebody killed me,
Something like that, they're gonna run with that, and they're gonna be able to. They pop's gonna be able to talk
Nah,
about it
facts.
Yeah.
because they
My
couldn't play against my
son
pops.
was busting. Like, all right.
So I always walked around like that, and then I always just had like a good group of friends. I still got my same friends that I had, you know what I mean, from since I was young. You know what I mean? BBO is my crew. Those is like my friends, and we always, since I was young, we always kind of went around together. Most of us played on the same team, so if we had a game, even the ones that didn't play, they'd be at the game. Then it's just different because it's like you play a game on 118th Street, and it's everybody there, girls, everybody who's somebody's at the game. Right after the game, everybody walking uptown. It's like you got like 30 people just walking uptown to go to the block, to maybe go to a different game, maybe, you know what I mean? So that type of culture and that type of environment, it's amazing to kind of be around. And I think that's why New York breeds the type of like, you see the gritty, hungry guards that come out of New York that got this chip on their shoulder that they know like, okay, nobody could bust my ass, right? Because I gotta go back to New York. And if I go back to New York, somebody gonna tell me that somebody bust my ass. It ain't just a easy place. Sometimes you go to a place, you could be from somewhere, I could play, somebody kill you, nobody even know, right? You go back to only the people that was in the gym know, right? In New York, if you get killed, you walk uptown, everybody uptown already know by the time you get up there. You feel me? Now it's different. Now it's like, yeah, now it's like, yo, now you waiting for get back. You feel what I'm saying? So I think that growing up there, it just makes you like, just be hungry. You know what I mean? And I was able to translate that from the time I stopped playing to the space I'm in now, where it's like, okay, I have to be the best at what I do. You know, because I do represent something that's bigger than myself. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? I represent Harlem, the Bronx. Like, that's why it's on my hat. That's why I wear it all the time. That's why, like, when you come from New York, you walk around with this chip that, like, you better than everybody. And when you feel that way, you got to back it up. And if you ain't going to back it up, then you shouldn't even walk around like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel.
So you went, for people that don't know, you went to Fairmont State, played basketball at Fairmont State.
Facts.
You know,
Facts.
Do your research. If you did not know,
Shout out
he
Fairmont State.
is a hooper for real. He really did this. So you got the school record and a career high of 19 assists.
Yeah.
I want you to talk about the importance of like for young people. You know, everybody think it's valuable to score. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
I want you to speak on how important it is to share the ball and be that type of player.
Yeah, so it's crazy because I could always pass. I could always pass growing up, but I did that much. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I scored. Yeah. When I got to college, I played with a bunch of dudes that was like 1,000-point scorers. In my career, I probably played with like 8,000-point scorers. And
4 years.
yeah, facts.
That's crazy.
Yeah, facts. Maybe like
That's 2 1,000-point scorers.
yeah, like, and it might be, I might be missing somebody, like when I think about it. But all the dudes that I played with was super good, you know, and I was good. When we used to play open gym and all that, I could score, I could do all that, but I got into a groove of understanding that it would be way easier for me to score if I got everybody else involved first. So I would tell my teammates, any one of my teammates would tell you, if Sham pass you the ball, you better shoot. If you don't shoot, I'm telling coach to take you out. Point blank period.
Like that.
Point blank period.
Yeah.
Because like, you gotta just have that confidence in them. And I always grew up feeling like it's easy for me to make a move one-on-one and score.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I've been doing.
Yeah.
It's always better when you make a move, you do something, and then you can set somebody else up to score. They don't even have to move. You know what I mean? They could just catch the ball in one spot.
Everybody flowing to you.
You know what I mean? And that made all my teammates just love playing with me. You know, I don't know how many times I hear from my teammates that like I was one of their favorite point guards to play with because I knew where they wanted the ball at. I knew how to get them the ball. And it's so important, especially in today's game.
Yeah.
Right? Every team got a superstar, if not one, two.
Yeah.
Right? And then if they got two, they might also have an all-star.
Yeah.
You know, so how can you fit into these roles of like Draymond Green, I think, did it the best.
For sure.
Right? Draymond Green made a career out of getting the best player of basketball, knowing exactly where he want the ball at, knowing how to tell other people how to get him open. Right? You know what I mean? Like sometimes you see Draymond, he jump up the floor, he pointing. Yo, go screen for him. Boom, he come. You know what I mean? So I think that's like being a basketball savant to me, when you could do stuff like that. And then that leads into what I do now, right? Because all you're doing is reading the game. All you're doing is I could make a move and I could be able to tell what's gonna happen before it happens. Because I'm making you move this way because I know the defense is gonna do this. So now, you know, once you get into that kind of groove as a coach, it's easy for you to see the game. And it's easy for you to kind of help people get to where they need to get to and get to those spots. So I tell all the young kids, especially if you're somebody that's my height, right? Like, you have to be able to play defense. You got to be able to pick up full court, play defense, and you have to be able to get other people involved. And then after that, you got to be able to make a shot. You got to be able to make, you know, finish around the rim and do all that stuff. But if you know how to control a basketball game, you will always be needed. So those times to me at Fairmont was great because I got to experience those things. I got to do something that may never be broken. The dude who assist record I broke, the assist record was there since like 1970 something.
I gotta repeat that. 19 assists.
It's a
I remember that
different.
game. I got 19 assists and I got it to a dude that I hated playing with. Majority of them was a dude that I probably really don't like. But at the end of the day, it was just more so like, what can I do to help us? What can I do to help us win? What can I do to help us? That's always been my main thing. I feel like point guards in basketball are predicated on winning. It's like a quarterback. Quarterback, you can be as good as you want to be. If you never win, after a certain amount of years, I'm like, he's just out there for stats. He's not that good. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, you know what I mean? So to me, if you're a point guard, whether you playing pickup, whether you playing, I don't care if you're playing 3-on-3, I don't care what you're doing, right? You should want to win all the time. Everybody gonna want to play with you if you're gonna win. Chauncey Billups, right? Nice, but he win. Ain't the flashiest. Might not have the best handle, might not have the best, but he win games. And Hall of Famer. Like, that's just what it is.
I definitely want you to like take us through with you. You know, obviously you hung the shoes up, but you still hoop. But still though, take us through like your journey, your first job after you were done playing, and then even touch on like the Blue Coast experience a little bit, and then to where you are now.
Yeah, so I will tell everybody right now, I have film, okay?
I got to film right now. You know what I
I do have film. I do play basketball. You know what I mean? I do play basketball. So Joe Mazzulla, who the coach of the Celtics, he was big in in my process. He was my assistant coach when I was at Fairmont State for up until I was he left my senior year. So I played on my senior year, and he had always been telling me that like the team would go as far as I took him. You know, and that really, really sat with me because I had to take ownership in, you know, working out some of my teammates. I had to take ownership in like while I was playing, yeah. I had to take ownership in like if we was running sprints, right? I'm not letting anybody just miss a step. I'm always it was more so like if we went out, right? I was always the one that was like, it's time for us to go. Everybody going. I don't care what we doing, everybody going. You know, so I just started taking that ownership, and I started to see how my teammates got better, and I started to see how like how much I enjoyed it. I started to work out like kids in the area. It's funny because one of them is on our summer league team right now. Like,
Shout him out.
yeah, Jalen Bridges. Jalen was a two-way for Phoenix. He on our summer league team, but I was working Jalen out probably when he was in like 7th, 8th grade, while I was still in college. You know, so that was big for me. And then Joe, once I graduated, Joe told me, you know, he told me his kind of story, how he graduated from West Virginia. He went overseas for a year. And after he went overseas for the year, you know, he just figured out like it just wasn't for him. And I was always somebody that I didn't like planes that much. I love my family. I didn't really want to be that far away from them. And to also think, okay, I'm gonna leave to go over here. I'm gonna play. I play for 8 years, right? When I come back home, what am I gonna want to do? I'm gonna want to coach. So do I want to start that journey when I'm 30, or do I want to start that journey when I'm 22? And Joe really helped me like make that decision. And once I made it, I kind of never really regretted it. Like I always told myself, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna regret it. I don't have really time to worry about that, right? I played, I was good. I achieved a lot of good things, and now it's time for like the next chapter. So Joe wound up like giving me my first like job at Fairmont as just like a assistant, like kind of. I had the red shirts, so I would work with the red shirts every morning. Shout out to another Cleveland guy, Dale Bonner.
Oh yeah, shout out Dale.
Shout out Dale. That's my brother right there. That's my little brother for real. Like he was the first person that I had in that setting that I actually had to work with every single day.
It's making sense now.
That I actually had to like me and Dale. And Dale loved me, but he did not like me most of the time. You feel what I'm saying? But we used to get up every day, like 7:30, 8, be in the gym, work out. He'd go to class, he'd come back, work out again before practice. Like, shout out to his dad. You know, they really put a lot of faith in me to work with him. And that kind of just opened up like my creativity and what I wanted to do. And then Joe left. Joe went to work for the Celtics as an assistant. So once he left, I took a job at IUP, Indiana University of Pennsylvania, like a really good Division II school. And I helped out. I had a lot of dudes there. Amani Foster, who was an All-American. Malik Miller was an All-American. Dallas still go there right now. I recruited him. He'll probably be an All-American. Like I had a lot of good guys, and it kind of just helped me open up my creativity to what I wanted to do, to how I wanted to affect people. And it just had me in a mindset of, if I could help young dudes achieve their dreams and also help them like become better men in the process, like figure out how to navigate through college, being away from family. That's what Joe did for me. So I always wanted to help other people do that. And that kind of just led to one year I was at IUP, Joe called me. He like, I'm coaching summer league. We could have like volunteer assistant coaches. Do you want to come? And I came out here. I want to say that was 2021. That was 2021. I came out here and I did it. And I went back home. Kobe called me. Kobe called, George Carl's son. Kobe called me. And Kobe was like, yo, like we got a spot. Like we want you to come coach for the Blue Coats. And I went. And then the rest was just like history. So I always shout out Kobe for like believing in me. And like I said, like he didn't know me. He met me out here. One time I was with Deshaun Butler and Kobe. We sat down, we might have had a conversation for like hour and 30 minutes. It's just like we just sitting right here, we just chopping up, we eating dinner. It wasn't even really about nothing. And he called me and he was like, yo, I like how you spoke at the conversation. I would like to try to help you out. And he gave me a job and that led to, me meeting Jamil and Prosper, and those dudes really helped me to figure out how to become more professional, how to align myself in the right places, how to network. And then when Joe got the opportunity to bring me to Boston, he called me. He was a man of his word, he kept his word and he gave me an opportunity. And now, like I say, it's up to me to make the most of it, right? Like everybody's gonna get somewhere because of the people that they know and the work that they put in. But once you get the opportunity, it's just more about what do you do with it, right? Where do you take it? And my goal is to take it as far as I can, really, and try to be the best mentor I could be for young dudes and be the best I could be,
Definitely want you to speak on the importance of like player-coach relationship, because like you talk about Joe a lot. Like even yesterday, we was talking, we just mentioned him. I don't even remember what we were talking about, but he was the first person you mentioned. Like talk about that player-coach relationship, especially like the impact it can have on a player, even when they transition to off the floor. Because I feel like you kind of had a seamless transition, given that you were already training players, when you was playing, and then you kind of just went straight into it, and you've been doing it for what, 10?
Yeah, I've been doing it for, I'm 30 now, I'm about to be 31. I've been coaching since I was 22. Yeah, so, thank you, man. Thank you, man. Yo, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
We about to be 30, like, hey, relax.
I appreciate that. Listen, I could have, there was a couple times I could have not been here. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. But I think that player-coach relationships are like the number one thing, right? Like building relationships are the number one thing that you could do. You know what I mean?
Put that over X's and O's?
Yes, by far. Nobody's gonna listen to you if you don't have a relationship with them.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm realizing that I coach football
Okay.
in high school.
Yeah.
So like this generation of kids, very, very relationship and like they need.
They are not listening to
They're
you.
not listening.
They are not.
If you have not built a relationship with them, they can care less.
You could be the smartest coach in the world.
Yeah.
You could have every single you could draw up a play, and your play could work 99% of the time.
Yeah.
Right? They are not going to care.
If they don't like you, they don't trust you. It's just it don't work.
I knew that because of how I felt as a player, right? Like I'm a kid, I'm coming from New York City, right? When I was 17, I got shot. So I'm coming from New York, I'm going all the way to West Virginia, right? I don't know where I'm going. I know West Virginia State, but you don't really know what's in West Virginia. You know what I mean? I get to West Virginia, first thing, we go outside. At 9 o'clock, it's dark outside, there's no street lights. There's no sidewalks. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you just learning a whole different environment. And Joe was somebody that I could lean on, and somebody who would, only reason why I listened to him is because whenever I came in the gym, he never talked to me about basketball first. He always asked me how my family was doing. He always knew like what was going on with my family. If something was happening like with my grandma and stuff, he used to take us on like gratitude walks. So before we started workout here, we'd just walk around the gym like 4 times. And we would just talk about life. Like you just had to talk about what was going on in your life, just purely like not basketball. And that, so, yeah. Nah, for real. So now, when we in practice and he got to yell at me, I know where it's coming from. You feel me? Because it's different than a dude never knowing anything about you, right? When you're in college, you spend majority of the time with the people that you were in college.
Right, yeah.
If you do summer school and all that, you're in college for damn near 10 months, right? So if somebody's just gonna sit there and just be barking orders at you, just be yelling at you, just be doing all that, it's like, I have to listen to you. You don't know nothing that's going on in my life, right? I could have got a phone call, one of my homies got shot, right? But you just yelling about something just because you feel like I'm in the mood, but you don't even really know what's going on in my life. I'm a person, you feel me? So I think that's like the number one thing for relationships. I try to build those relationships with each player that I have, and those relationships are different all the time. But I try to just build that so that they know, regardless of what I tell them, or like what we doing, or how I'm trying to help you know, I'm trying to help you. You know, I'm trying to help you become the best that you can become because I fuck with you, because we got a relationship, right? If I don't, then how much effort am I really putting into your workouts? Yeah. How much effort am I really putting into like watching your film and trying to make sure that you get better? You know, if I don't care about you as a person. So I think that like relationships is always number one, right? We're not sitting here today if me and you don't build a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So networking, and like genuine networking, like don't just call me because you're looking for a job, right? There's no reason why anybody should call me that I know and not be like, yo, how your daughter doing? How your family doing, right? Anybody I speak to that I know is always how your family doing, how, you know what I mean? Because we all got everyday lives. We all got real shit going on. So I think that just like building those relationships is always key for me. And I would put that, if I was a head coach, I would take somebody who knew how to build relationships over somebody that knew everything about basketball.
Yeah. So I think we can end it there, man. I want to thank you for taking the time out to speak to us. It's really, I feel like a great episode. You know, we got a great scenery. You know, we drinking today, and I want to
Yeah, for sure.
Great life experience.
For sure. Shout out to Harlem. Shout out to my block. Shout out to my daughter, all right? BBO, love all y'all.
I definitely want to give flowers to you, Sham. You know, the younger people in the league. Like I feel like the league is definitely going through a transition of hiring younger coaches and stuff like that. But it's really dope to see like your development as a coach and as a man, because we were both pretty young when we was together in Delaware. So just to see how you are now, and especially being a father too, like it's just dope to see. Proud of you, bro. Love you. Appreciate you for coming on.
Facts, you already know. Love you, buddy. Appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for sure.
To another episode of Lab Rats and Loaded Minds. Check it out.
All right, come on, everybody pull up now. Come on now.